In the blistering heart of Riyadh's desert night, where the air shimmers like a mirage of unyielding ambition, can a gleaming relic of gold, forged not from ore, but from the sweat of eternal rivalries, silence the roar of 1,000 unspoken dreams? The Six Kings Slam, that opulent gathering of titans under Saudi Arabia's starlit canopy, unfolded once more in 2025, a spectacle where six of tennis's crowned heads converged on the gilded courts of the Kingdom Arena. It was a tournament born of extravagance, blending the raw pulse of competition with the whisper of history, drawing the world's gaze to a stage where every serve echoed like thunder across dunes. Jannik Sinner, the Italian prodigy with ice in his veins and fire in his forehand, stepped into the fray as the defending champion, his lithe frame a testament to quiet ferocity. Across the net stood Carlos Alcaraz, the Spanish whirlwind, world number one, whose explosive grace had already claimed French Open and US Open glory that year, leaving Sinner's Wimbledon triumph as a lone beacon in their shared saga of supremacy. The arena pulsed with anticipation, its vast dome a cathedral of light and shadow, packed with dignitaries in flowing robes and fans clutching flags that fluttered like prayers. Sinner, fresh from vanquishing Stefanos Tsitsipas and a resilient Novak Djokovic in the semis, a poignant echo of their Wimbledon clash, carried the weight of redemption after Alcaraz's US Open conquest. Alcaraz, too, had carved his path, toppling Alexander Zverev and Taylor Fritz with that trademark blend of power and poetry. Please like, share, and subscribe for more Sport Talk content. As the final ignited on that balmy October evening, streamed live to millions via Netflix's unblinking eye, the court became a canvas of contrasts. Sinner's metronomic precision against Alcaraz's improvisational storm. The first set unfolded like a maestro's overture. Sinner breaking early at love, his backhand slicing through the humid air like a scimitar, claiming games 1 and 5 in a blur of unforced dominance, sealing 6-2 in just 27 minutes. The crowd, a mosaic of cultures under the arena's golden glow, rose in waves, their cheers a symphony of awe and allegiance. Alcaraz, ever the fighter, regrouped in the second, his serve finding venom, holding to love as if reclaiming the narrative. Yet Sinner's returns were relentless, probing like desert winds eroding stone. At 2-2, the Spaniard faced the abyss, 3 breakpoints in the fifth game, saved with guttural roars that shook the rafters, his fist pumping fury into the ether. The Italian faithful chanted, "Jannik! Jannik!" their voices a rising tide, while Alcaraz's supporters countered with fervent cries, the air thick with the scent of jasmine and tension. But fate, that capricious muse of the court, tilted inexorably. In the seventh game, Sinner struck again, wresting the break with a forehand winner that kissed the line like a lover's secret. The score, 4-3. Alcaraz, sweat tracing rivulets down his brow, fought to 5-4, his drop shots teasing the net like fleeting hopes. The crowd held its breath, a collective inhale as Sinner served for the match at 5-4, the arena's lights casting long shadows that danced like specters of past glories. 73 minutes in, it ended. Not with a thunderclap, but a whisper of inevitability. Sinner's match point, a serve that Alcaraz chased in vain, the ball skidding off his racket frame into the abyss. 6-4. Silence fell first, profound and electric, as if the desert itself paused to witness. Then, eruption, the Italian's corner exploding in hugs, flags waving like victorious banners, while across the net, Alcaraz stood frozen, racket limp, his eyes locked in silent communion with the conqueror. In that hush, as Sinner turned to the stands, the weight of 2 Six Kings titles settled upon him like a mantle of gold. The aftermath rippled outward like a stone skipped across an oasis. Netflix's feed captured every frame, igniting social media infernos. Sinner sweeps trending worldwide, clips of that final break amassing millions of views in hours, fans dissecting angles with the fervor of archaeologists unearthing legend. Italian outlets hailed it as La Rinascita del Re, a rebirth for a nation starved for sporting sacraments since the days of Borg and Panata. News cycles spun the yarn globally, BBC panels pondering the $6 million purse, the largest in tennis lore, as a double-edged sword of progress and provocation amid Saudi's bold foray into the sport. Alcaraz's silence in defeat became its own poetry. No post-match barb, just a nod to Sinner's edge, whispered to courtside mics as cameras swarmed. Fans flooded forums, their posts a tapestry of empathy. Carlos watched like a brother in arms, not a foe fallen. Yet deeper layers unfurled in the cultural undercurrents. This was no mere exhibition. It evoked the Six Kings' inaugural echo when Rafael Nadal, the 22-time major maestro, received his own golden racket, a solid gold heirloom valued at €250,000, in quiet tribute to a career etched in clay-red resilience. Sinner now joined that pantheon, the racket presented not as bling, but as a bridge across eras, from Nadal's roar to the new guard's resolve. Historical whispers amplified the resonance. Saudi's arena, once a symbol of oil-fueled isolation, now hosted these duels, mirroring tennis's own evolution from colonial lawns to global coliseums. Fan reactions poured in. Djokovic, sidelined by injury in his semi-retirement against Fritz, tweeted a simple crown emoji, crowning Sinner's reign. Zverev and Tsitsipas, early exits in their own right, shared stories of locker room levity turned to respect, the event's camaraderie a balm against the ATP's cutthroat grind. As the golden racket emerged on a velvet plinth, gleaming under spotlights like a relic from some pharaoh's tomb, Sinner approached, Alcaraz at his shoulder in unscripted solidarity. The presentation, a ceremonial hush, the MC's voice booming the honor's lineage, Nadal's echo, now Sinner's inheritance. The Italian lifted it skyward, its weight a metaphor for triumphs born, the crowd's ovation swelling to a crescendo that vibrated through the sands beyond. In the quiet corridors post-ceremony, whispers of private exchanges surfaced. Sinner clasping Alcaraz's hand, murmuring, "This one's for the fire we both carry," a nod to their 2025 odyssey of finals at Roland Garros, Wimbledon, and Flushing Meadows. The Spaniard, eyes downcast yet alight, replied only with an embrace, the silence louder than any stat line. Now, in the reflective hush that follows glory's blaze, what does this moment murmur about the soul of sport? It speaks of humility's quiet forge, where victory isn't domination, but a shared ascent. Sinner's poise, a reminder that true kings bow not to crowns, but to the grind that gilds them. Consider the humanity woven into every rally. Alcaraz, the boy genius burdened by prodigy's shadow, watching in silence not from defeat's sting, but from the grace to witness a peer's pinnacle. It's a tableau of sportsmanship's unsung code, rivalries as crucibles, tempering egos into empathy, where the loser's gaze holds more poetry than the winner's roar. And in Sinner's arc, we glimpse legacy's patient craft. From the Dolomites' shadowed valleys, where a young Jannik honed his swing amid alpine echoes, to Riyadh's floodlit expanse, this golden racket isn't mere metal. It's the distillation of discipline, the alchemy of doubt, transmuted into dominance. It asks us, in our own arenas, do we chase the shine or the substance that makes it endure? This pinnacle probes deeper still, into values etched beyond baselines. Sportsmanship here isn't platitude, it's Alcaraz's unflinching presence, a silent vow that brotherhood outlasts brackets. In an era of fleeting feeds and fractured feuds, such moments reaffirm the game's core. Not who hoists the trophy, but how we lift each other toward it. Vulnerabilities bared under the unyielding eye of excellence. Reflect on characters' quiet rebellion against chaos. The way Sinner, post-US Open heartbreak, channeled loss into laser focus, his game evolving not through vengeance but vulnerability embraced. It's a lesson for the stands and the streets alike. Legacy blooms not from